9. Often Racing, missing the step, though Elite Fighter. Cherry Can Run lacked a bit of early speed, and there isn't a great deal of it at the end of 100. Rally the Troops is going to find itself in front from the favourite Territory Man and Sky Talker. It's going to ride the pace, going around the outside to sit outside Rally the Troops, and they aren't going overly hard whatsoever. Super Romney, the big fellow, down on the inside next in a bunched up field. Around them very wide, the ex-Vic Musgrave went forward, and they're followed in between horses. Next, Golden Kathleen. In front of it, Black for Cash. Elite Fighter, Cherry Can Run. Dropping out, Cherokee Miss last of all. At the 750, and Rally the Troops holds the front for Panama. Half a length on Sky Talker, who goes up, camps right there at the girth of the leader. In behind them to Musgrave, sitting a shade wide. Super Romney's on the inside with the Hot Pot. Territory Man next in the middle for Pike. A length away then is Black for Cash. Elite Fighter strung up near the rail as they start to quicken here. They haven't done a tap at all in running. On the outside, third from last, Golden Kathleen. Cherry Can Run. Back near the tail end of the field, Cherokee Miss into the straight. Rally the Troops, Sky Talker together at the moment. 2 lengths, Territory Man about to let rip. He's coming down the outside. Rally the Troops, Sky Talker. Territory Man closing in on them. Territory Man on the outside hits the lead, and Territory Man was too good in the last beat. Rally the Troops. Third might be Sky Talker just from Black for Cash. Golden Kathleen the middle, running on late in a race that was not much more than a sprint home. Cherry Can Run. Super Romney and Elite Fighter were next home, and further back Cherokee Miss dropping out Musgrave. Much too sharp for them. Territory Man. Willie Pike wins the last event of the day, and look at the time they've run, 1:25.83. You could seriously, on a day like today, kick your hat faster. They were just dawdling along there in front, and it turned out to be one almighty sprint home, and Territory Man was much too sharp, beating Rally the Troops, Sky Talker, and third will be Black for Cash in front of Golden Kathleen, and the margins are a length and a long neck. So a really good result here for David Reid this afternoon, as the owner of Rock the Market, which won the first event for the day, and his Silks carried the victory in the last. So it's the bookend result for David Reid, who is a part owner with Chris Chalwell, B. Greenwood and R. Wilson, Rod Russell from Horseshoe Investments, Grant Williams, AJ Davidson and M. Ferguson, V. Sheshniak, and the Perfect Excuse #1 syndicate managed by our good mate Warren Stewart, with the Perfect Excuse #2 syndicate as well involved. So a host of owners, 4 starts, 2 wins now. Impressive letdown time, but no 600 to give us a guide there. You can just imagine what it would have been in 1:25.83. But no 600 split, but they would have absolutely shot the lights out there in the last event of the day. Rally the Troops second home, a Blue Point out of Ravelli, and ridden by Chris Parnham for the Pierce brothers. Sky Talker third home, Clint Johnston Porter for Michael Grantham by I'm All the Talk. It's 10.958, the placings after the running of the last event on the program. Well, Puffer Williams is now down in the yard. He would have been impressed at least with the way this horse let down. He was sitting in behind the pace. He let him go, and when he did, he absolutely exploded to claim victory in the last event of the day, and in doing so, certainly justified the short price that he was sent out at in that final event, Lockie.
Darren backed into $1.80 in the end, Territory Man, as Grant Williams joins me now. Grant, congratulations on the win. When they were going slow in front, it looked like the race wasn't going to be run to suit, but to the 2 leaders' credit, they gave a nice kick 'em on straightening, and Territory Man did the rest.
Yeah, I thought it was a credible effort, Lock. You know, his turn of foot was great. This horse, he's got a bit of ability. We just got to take him along, do what we normally do. We'll give him a few runs and put him away, and, you know, just keep stepping him up like we do.
Coming into this preparation, he obviously had a long time off. Fingers crossed he remains sound, but does he have niggling issues still behind the scenes, or has he passed any types of soundness issues?
No, he ended up with a small fracture. He ended up with a bit of time out. So generally those things you get over. We give him plenty of time. You get over him nicely. It's no tendons or anything like that. So lovely horse at home. Pikey likes him, which is always a bonus, and yeah, I thought his win was great.
Looking forward to Saturday afternoon. Hemlock Stone, is he a forgotten horse in the Van Hemst?
Yeah, I don't know. He's sort of he's doing enough without sort of blowing the lights out. I think probably. I know he's going to probably have a little bit of weight in the cup, but that's probably more his liking, I'd say.
Are you glad the Pinnacles is over now? Can you breathe a sigh of relief, or are you still a little bit nervous heading towards the Perth Cup?
Yeah, we've still got one more that we got to try and tick off, and we've got a few bullets without having outstanding ones. But I don't think there's any outstanding horses, or the ones that have been there have ended up with weight. So I think it's going to be a pretty open Perth Cup, and we got probably going to have about 4 bullets to fire. So yeah, I reckon hopefully the guys will have some target practice the week leading up to it, and we'll be right.
Well done here.
Thanks.
There's Grant Williams, and here's Willie Pike. No, Willie's just catching up with some winning connections for a winning photo, and then he'll catch up with Scotty after the win of Territory Man. 2 wins from 4 career starts. It looks like they're going to have plenty of fun with this horse moving forward, Scotty, and they deserve it because they have had to be very, very patient.
They have had to be patient, Locke, that's exactly right. But in the end, maybe it's a blessing in disguise. And now as a 4-year-old, there's not the temptation of going to some of those bigger races, which is exactly what they would have done, no doubt, had they been had a 3-year-old that was sound after that debut victory. I'm sure they tipped him out thinking, well, we'll get him ready and we'll bring him back in February, which is when we next saw him, and the sights would have been set on a WATC derby. There's no doubt about that. That's how Team Williams tend to operate with the timing of these horses' preparations. But in the end, things didn't go to plan, and they had to tip him out, and now they can just pick off these races and go through the grades really nicely here with this horse. 55 kilos today. He can either stay in this grade or head to a Saturday. He could go back to a Class 3 if they wanted to, but Willie Pike is about to join us now as he weighs in the last with Territory Man. Pikey, those rail out days, when they go slow in front, they can get messy, so this horse has done a good job to sort of pick them up there.
Yeah, that's right. That's what I just said to the crew then. He sustained a sprint for a very long way. He needed to with the way the race was run. Don't think that's in his wheelhouse. I think eventually over ground he'll sit midfield and he'll grind them into the dust, but for him to be able to sprint for that long today, it was a nice effort.
Van Heemst on the weekend, you ride a Poolia, you trialled him. Have you been aboard him since?
No, I haven't been aboard him since, but I liked him in his trial. He was an absolute he was a groovy horse. Hopefully I can do something for the guys. Like I always like to get a result for them. They fly across and they put it on the line, so hopefully I can get them a result and give them something to be happy about coming across.
Good luck on the weekend.
Thanks, mate.
There's Willie Pike. He finishes the day as a winner, as he so often does. Territory Man. And it sounds like Willie Pike has a nice opinion of this horse. He's still lightly raced. They've had to be patient with him, but he looks like he's going to be winning his fair share of races. A great day of racing here, Scotty. What's the highlight? I know the win of Playhouse Patron in the ATA, but I guess the undercard, there were still some nice results with some nice horses moving forward, particularly with a horse like Rock the Market in the first.
Yeah, she's who I was going to touch on there, Lockie. She's obviously had the 3 starts so far in her life, run 3rd on each of those 3 occasions, but she's also a mare that one of those days they raced her in a Class 3. She ran 2nd to Hey Pino, who was very well supported on Saturday's racing, also beat Home Princess in Red, who the punters had a crack at today here as well. So she can go through her grades really nicely, but the highlight story is always going to be Bobby Mack, a veteran horse trainer with a winner in the lead up to the Cup, and also all of a sudden they go there with not just making up the numbers, they go in there with a bit of expectation at odds.
Generally speaking, we like a horse in the lead up to a Perth Cup or any of the feature races here in WA, but this year's Perth Cup seems very open. As Grant Williams said, it's hard to really have a real strong opinion in the feature race on January 1 until the Van Heemst on Saturday afternoon.
Exactly right. It'll be really interesting to see how a Poolia goes on the weekend, coming out of the Pinnacle Series, going into that distance range. But I'm looking forward to seeing Admiration Express. If she could run well enough to justify going to the Cup, she'd add that extra element of intrigue. You've got last year's Van Heemst winner there as well in Good Order, who wasn't too bad. And Diamond Scene has gone up favourite in markets, and understandably so, off the back of what he's produced so far this preparation. Diamond Scene won this race last year, the ATA Stakes, so he's gone to a whole new level. And for me today, another highlight has to be Filthy Habits. He is absolutely on track for the Cup, and down on the 53 kilo minimum will give more than just cheek.
I can't wait to see if you tip Filthy Habits come Perth Cup day. Maybe not, but I'll be excited to see if he leads and kicks in a Perth Cup. I know you'll be very, very excited. But that rounds out what has been a wonderful day of racing here at Ascot on ATA Stakes Day. Congratulations to Bobby Mack and Playhouse Patron taking out the ATA Stakes. That's all we have time for. It's good night from Scotty Knight.